I believe and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Say hello. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Woo! Good morning, everybody. How are you? I only heard 5 people. How are you this morning? Woo! Much better, much better.
Yes, I like that energy.
Yeah, we got to stoke it up, people. So welcome to Spiritual Center of the Desert. This is Reverend Dr. Laura Shackelford. I am Reverend Dr. Dale Olansky. The young man sitting over there is Reverend William Conway. And we are your spiritual leadership. In addition to, may I have the practitioners and ministers stand? These are the anchors of this center. They are our practitioners and our ministers. They are here, as we all are, for you to just be that light, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, boy, I love the energy in here today.
All you got to do is ask them to turn it on, and they're on.
They're on.
Just like us.
Yes.
Anyways, we want to see who's here for the first time today. Is there anybody who is here for the first time at our center? We'd like you to stand up.
Bashful.
We just want to acknowledge you.
Come on. Yeah. I was going to say.
There they are.
Yeah, right.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here.
Okay, Layla, you're not here for the first time.
Yeah,
what were you standing
Leela.
up for?
Cheater.
I just wanted to give you a rough time because I loved you.
For those of you that don't know, this is the irreverent Reverend, although you're having a real impact on me. I've been like...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
And a little snarky, too, right?
Yeah, you're getting the snark going there.
You know, you got to enjoy life, right?
Indeed.
Yeah.
And some of us enjoy being snarky and sarcastic.
Yes, that's it. All right, so
So what do these people that are here for the first time need to do today, Dr. Laura?
do we have goodies?
We have goodies. We have goodies for them in the foyer. We've got, I think, Leanne, are you going to be monitoring that? We've got what we call a visitor's table, I guess we call
Well,
it.
it's a visitor's table out
Right
there.
here.
We have little present for you and a little magazine and something.
I think we have a book by Christine.
Oh, did we get some more in? Yay. Christine's
Yeah.
books back? Okay, those are fabulous. So you want to stop by there and pick up that and kind of find out a little bit more about who we are and get on our mailing list because we have activities here all the time, and that way you can find out and check the calendar to see what's going on this week.
Exactly, yeah. Anyway, so if you are here for the first time and you're not familiar with our philosophy, we just refer to our mission statement because it really encapsulates what we're all about and what we teach. So let's say our mission statement together. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives, one heart at a time. Thank you. So I believe we have birthdays to celebrate because it's August. And yes, and so for those of you that were born in the month of August, can we stand or can you stand so we can sing happy birthday to y'all? Woo! Yay. All right, let's celebrate, you guys. Let's sing it. Here we go. Jerry Lip, if you would do your thing.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, August birthdays. Happy birthday to you.
Right. Oh, yes.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Speaking of
Ooh.
fun, we've
Yeah.
got a concert coming up now, August 30th,
Yep.
6 p.m. right here in the sanctuary, our beloved Levi Christ. Let's show our video first, and then we'll give you a little more info.
You're fine, so kind. Wanna tell stories that's so mine. I clear my nails and I put my thumbs. Learn so it's fun. Come on, baby, drive me crazy. Ooh, great balls of fire.
Speaking of energy,
And is that the one he won the Tony Award for? Yes.
He's a Tony Award winner. And you know what? You'd think, God, Tony Award winning guy is probably arrogant. This guy has the most kindest, loving, gentle heart you will ever know. And we love him. He's going to be doing his concert that's not just Broadway. He has calm, spiritual music that he sings. He's got more contemporary. I think he does some country.
It's not going to all be like that.
Yeah. But he's a variety. He brings a lot to the plate.
A lot of
yeah.
variety.
So I believe,
Heartfelt.
Elizabeth, are you going to be selling tickets after service? She'll be in the foyer selling tickets. For those of you that are purchasing VIP tickets, and the VIP gives you an opportunity to mix and mingle with Levi before service. We're going to have appetizers, cocktails, sodas, whatever. It begins at 5 p.m., just to let you know. 5 p.m. is the VIP, whatever you call it, get-together in Costa Hall. 6 p.m. is when the show actually begins. So buy your tickets. You are just going to fall in love with this man because he is beyond amazing, truly, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I don't
Yeah,
even know
there's
how to
words,
describe.
there are no words
I
for
can't
this
even
man.
describe it.
Yeah.
But that's so little of what he
Yeah,
does.
just
Just so you know.
Yep. I think that's all of our announcements, so we'll go to recorded
All right.
announcements. Thank you, everybody.
And here's what's happening this week at the center. Immediately following service, we have 1-minute miracles. Practitioners are available for your prayer in the Om Room. Remember, it only takes 1 minute to change your life. On Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m., we have Dr. Laura's book study as she discusses the Great Awakening. Tuesdays at 4 p.m., we have Healing Hearts, facilitated by Christine Cummings and Barbara Stenning. This is a supportive, empowering weekly circle. And this Wednesday at 3:30 p.m., we have Caregiver Support Group. This is facilitated by Dr. Dale Olansky. And later on Wednesday, this Wednesday at 6 p.m., Reverend William leads the drum circle. Join us. No experience needed. Just bring your energy, an open heart, and your drum to make music with, or borrow one of ours. On Thursday morning at 9 a.m., Sacred Circle is a safe space for sharing spiritual support and prayer. This is a virtual gathering for heartfelt connection, facilitated by Dr. Dale Olansky. Then this Friday at 6 p.m., we have Sound Immersion, a meditation and sound bath, facilitated by Reverend David and Dr. Dale. And this Saturday at 12:30 p.m., we have our men's group. This is a gathering of men to discuss what is on their hearts and on their minds. This is in Costa Hall. And Sunday mornings, we have meditation facilitated by Jackie Perry. Start your day centered in spirit at 9 a.m. And get out your calendars to save the date. October 17th at 6 p.m., we have dinner and dancing. And after service in our foyer, don't forget to pick up your copy of this month's calendar. For any further questions, contact the office or visit our website. Now, enjoy the rest of our service.
Thank you, Lizzie. That was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So, welcome again. Thank you, Reverend William, for doing your part. So, this is the first Sunday of the month and tradition here is to talk about some world religions and spiritual philosophies. For those of you that are here for the first time, we believe in a philosophy that was founded by a man named Ernest Holmes. And he believed that religion contained all universal truths, and there's not just one religion, but they all have the seeds of truth in them. And so what he did, he was brilliant, he studied all these religions and spiritual philosophies, and he put them all together in what we practice as religious science or science of mind. So today is the day where we celebrate some of these religions and philosophies, and what I like to do is I like to emphasize those parts in these religions that Ernest Holmes teaches in our philosophy. So let's begin with our first one, which is the Tao. And the Tao is more of a philosophy than a religion. The Tao teaches us that the whole universe is orderly, that there is a greater power, a source of life that really is quite unnameable. It's that big and beyond our human understanding that our little minds can figure out. But this energy is everywhere, within everything, and it guides all in this orderly system. And I know sometimes all we see is disorder, right? We don't get what's going on in our lives. But the Tao teaches us to take a step back, look a little bit farther out, and see how there is an order to it all. And so we honor the Tao for what it teaches us about that. And the next is Judaism. And Judaism teaches us about law, the importance of following spiritual law. I mean, you've probably known in your own lives when you break the law, good things don't happen. But when we follow the law, order happens, good happens, life happens in a more fulfilling manner. And so Ernest Holmes took this idea of spiritual law, and he teaches them to us to follow the law, use it rightly, use it positively, because when we do that, our life becomes very smooth and very, very wonderful. And the next is Buddhism. And Buddhism teaches us the path to enlightenment is to understand and have compassion, and to understand that suffering is something that we create through attachment. And so Buddhism tells us to be mindful of your mind, be mindful of your beliefs, because when you do that, when you understand how your thinking is impacting your life, you can change your thinking, you can change your beliefs, and create a better life for yourself. And that is what Ernest teaches us. And the next is Christianity. And Christianity teaches us about the power of love, the power of oneness. Christianity teaches us that spirit is everywhere present and we are connected to it. And so when we go into that state of understanding the essence of spirituality, to have compassion, to see everybody as our brothers and sisters, to be kinder, to be gentler with each other, when we do that, we're raising the frequency for us all to live into a better life. And the next is Islam. And Islam has a wonderful spiritual practice to pray 5 times a day. No matter what you're doing, at certain times throughout the day, you stop. You just stop, and you turn within and you pray. And I think that is the secret to a better life. Because if we're reminding ourselves 5 times a day that there's a greater power and presence that is everywhere present within us everywhere, when we say that to ourselves and do whatever that prayer is 5 times a day, we're going to feel a little lighter in our lives. We're going to have deeper faith. We're going to have greater clarity in what this world and what our lives are all about. And the next slide is about New Thought philosophies, which is what we are. Unity is another, divine science. And these philosophies came into this world at a time where people were really yearning for a deeper connection with spirit. And the brevity to be able to stand in opposition of what they were learning about spirituality and say, hey, there's another way. There's another way. And let's see what that is. It's about oneness. It's about seeing spirit within. It's about seeing that there's a healing presence within all life. That when we connect with it, when we acknowledge it, when we recognize it, when we tune into it, we bring it into a greater expression of being. So we honor all of these New Thought traditions that have brought us together in this sacred sanctuary today. And the last slide is for what's next. What's next for us as far as religion or spiritual philosophies? Because we are evolving, our consciousness is changing, and it's going to require new philosophies that allow us to grow and expand ourselves. So we keep the space wide open. We're not going to cling to that which has already been taught. We open the space to whatever's next, whatever enhances whatever we already know about our spirituality, so that we can have an even greater understanding and experience of spirit. And so I invite you now just to take a big breath of air in, because I just said a lot to you, and exhale. And now we're just going to kind of be with whatever might have come up for us during that time, and just give ourselves an opportunity now just to relax into this sacred space. We stand in a beautiful room that is filled with so much love and energy. This sanctuary is a beacon of light. This sanctuary is a place for us to open up and allow that presence to come into our awareness. And so I just invite you to give yourself the freedom to feel whatever that is to you, because it is different to all of us. And so let's take another breath of air in. And as we exhale, let's let go just a little bit more. If you want to close your eyes right now and just feel the love, and let this music just take you to a whole other place inside of yourself.
In this very room, there's quite enough love for one like me. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for one like me. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, oh spirit, is in this very this very room, there's quite enough love for all of us. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, oh spirit, is in this very in this very room, there's quite enough love for all the world. And in this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. And there's quite enough hope and quite enough power to chase away any gloom. For spirit, oh spirit,
I invite everyone just to take a deep holy breath together, releasing anything that is not of love. I'm so grateful to be right here in this eternal now moment, speaking the word and knowing that God is indeed breathing each one of us here. As I recognize and know there's only one thing happening in this life experience of ours, it's all God. Everywhere present, all powerful and all wise. And that every person, place, thing, and situation that we encounter in this life is an expression of this one essence of life. So I recognize this is true for myself. It is true for each and every person here and within the sound of my voice. God is expressing itself in, as, and through each of us as love and joy, peace, harmony, order and balance, abundance and prosperity, perfect health and wholeness, grace, beauty, power, creativity, freedom, and so much more. And because of the oneness that we are, the essence that we are, divine intelligence works through us at all times. So intuitively, we know the next right step, the next right action, the next right word to speak in every situation that is for our highest good and the highest good of all concerned. And there are no limitations for us, no lack, no limitation. Therefore, I call forth right here and right now the absolute surrender and allowing of God to be God as our lives, allowing all those beautiful God qualities that make up the natural state of our being to just come forward into our life experience. And I know that everything in this life, as we walk forward, unfolds in divine right action, divine right order, and in divine right timing. And that this very essence of love that we are is always in us, our spirit, here and beyond in this existence, beyond the veil. The love that we are continues. So I'm just grateful to know these truths today as I release this prayer as law, knowing it's answered. And we say together, and so it is. Amen.
In the silence there is peace. Silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. I awake to this holy silence. I hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence I find God. I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. I awake to this holy silence, and I hear all that has never been said, and right here in this holy silence I find you find God, you find yourself. And we find God, we find ourselves. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. One people living on one planet, joining in one family. We are all one. We are all one. We are all one.
Good morning. Love you guys. There's something better, I know there is. And this pain I'm in, somehow I'll get through it. There's something strong that's inside me now. I'm not going down. Somehow I will do this. I'll get through the night to the day that's waiting on the other side. On the other side, on the other side, on the other side is waiting for me. On the other side. giving in. Somehow I'll survive this. I'll get myself where I need to be. Feel how freedom feels. Somehow I will find this, and I'll get through this fight. Peace of mind will find me on the other side. On the other side. On the other side. On the other side. It's waiting for me. On the other side, there's a better life. There's a brighter day. After the darkest night, I'll get there. Ooh, I'll get there. I'll get past this pain I'm feeling now. I won't let it keep me down. I'll rise above it and get through the night to the day that's waiting on the other side. On the other side. On the other side. There's a brighter day after the darkest night. On the other side. On the other side. There's a brighter day after the darkest night. I'll get there. Ooh, oh, I'll get there. Hey, yeah, I'll get there. Oh, I'll get there. Yeah, yeah, I'll get there. Ooh, I'll get there.
Don't you love our music group? Aren't they so good? You know, we do a lot of good inspiring here, the three of us, but these guys do such an amazing job inspiring you all, and we're so present to that, and we're so grateful because we hear other centers don't have what we've got, and so we're deeply, deeply blessed, and we thank you. And thanks, Jerry Lynn, for being our new music director. Oh my gosh. You can go to your seats. So I thought it would be fitting for me to start with a Zen story since since I talked about the world religions today. So there's a student and his master, they're having a discussion about life, and the student turns to the master and says, "What happens when we die?" And so the master had a teacup that was nearby, and he threw it to the ground, and it broke to smithereens. And he started laughing, and he looked over to his student and said, "You don't need to worry, you'll be fine. Just don't get attached to the teacup." Y'all get it, right? I don't need to explain it. Well, isn't it? It's true for all of us, right? We live this life, and we get attached to a lot of things. It isn't just about the afterlife, but we get attached, and when things break, we suffer, right? We suffer. So when I was thinking about my talk today, believe it or not, I was going in a totally different direction. I was thinking about what the song that Alicia just sang about getting to the other side of sticky issues in life. And then Spirit intercepted me. And Spirit said, you need to talk about something else, something that we really don't talk about very often at this center. And that is the great beyond. The great beyond. Does everybody here understand what the great beyond refers to, right? It's the afterlife. It's that which comes after this physical human life no longer is. And I think we all come to the center not just for spiritual information and inspiration, but some of us come here wondering what does happen when we get to the other side of this journey. And I started thinking about that, and I realized our book that we use here, The Science of Mind, has a whole chapter devoted to that subject. This is the great beyond Soul. Did anybody see Soul? I'm sorry, I forgot I put this in here. This is the great beyond according to Disney Pixar. I love that. I had to watch it again last night before my talk because I wanted to see if there was anything I wanted to pluck out of it. But that's kind of cool, right? You're this little guy and there's this light and you're on a conveyor belt. You know, that works for some people. That works for some of us. It's not too bad, right? But in our Science of Mind textbook, he doesn't talk about a conveyor belt or a great light. He talks about, oh my God, I'm so screwed up here. Never mind. He talks about immortality. That is the name of the chapter that our textbook teaches. It isn't death, it isn't dying, it is immortality. Because it was important for Ernest Holmes to remind us that our souls do not end here. Our souls go on after this is finished. And when I was thinking about that, can we go back to the soul wisdom? Thank you. Sorry about that. So there's this thing I love called soul wisdom. And some people teach that when we come into this incarnation, we forget a lot of things. We forget about who we are at this soul level. And we just think of ourselves as whatever we're being conditioned to be in this world. But there's a soul wisdom that we all have inside of ourselves. And we teach here to awaken to that. Because what we do here is we don't load you up with a lot of things that we think you need to believe. We teach you how to believe in your own capacity to think and to feel spiritually. And so it is my belief that we all have inside of ourselves a soul wisdom about what comes after this. I believe we all have it, and we are here to awaken you to find it. Because some of you may believe in the conveyor belt. Some of you might believe in heaven. Some of you may believe you go just to a whole other space that you don't know what it's going to be like. But we're here to encourage you to go with what you believe. But what we would like you to see is that it doesn't stop here. And so Ernest has this whole chapter on immortality, and I thought I'd bring in a couple of his quotes about it because to me, this chapter has so many yummy nuggets of information that for me, they awakened my soul to something I knew was true, and I could get behind that. So he says, I can believe in planes beyond this one without number, in eternal progress. I cannot believe that nature is limited to one sphere of action. How do you feel about that? Does that resonate for anybody out there, that there's more spheres going on? I know we're taught to believe that this is it. Maybe there's other things that happen, but Ernest had such an expanded consciousness, and he was really ahead of his time because he thought there was so much more that we don't know. And that's why I love this greater beyond, because not only is it a beyond what this is, but it's beyond our even understanding of what we think is possible. And so the great beyond is going beyond what we know and letting ourselves be curious, letting ourselves come back to the soul wisdom that's starting to show up for us and give us information so that we can come back to a place of really getting what this life is for us individually. He says that man is an eternal destiny, a forever expanding principle of conscious intelligence. And I want to stop with that word intelligence, because I think it's a moment for me to teach you about what we believe intelligence is. I know for me, growing up, intelligence was all about the brain, right? How much do you know? How good of a grade can you get on a test? How many books can you shove into your brain and be able to speak about, right? I'm here to tell you that's not intelligence as we teach it here. Intelligence to us is something that's beyond the brain. Intelligence is this thing that is invisible, that is everywhere present. We use the word intelligence for spirit. Intelligence is like what the Tao teaches about God, right? It's about this energy that is all-knowing and everywhere present and keeps everything in a state of movement, of connection. That is what intelligence is to us. So we are a principle of conscious intelligence. We are that greater knower that evolves in, as, and through us. We are the ocean in the drop of water, right? We're everything. The sun, its rays, we're all of it. Man the real man meaning the spirit of who you are, is birthless, deathless, changeless, and God as man in man is man. So yes, we're going to that place of saying we are spirit expressing. We are spirit incarnate. Everything that we are is spirit. And I know for some of you out there, that's a tall order to even be able to begin to entertain as a belief. Because a lot of us have been taught that we're just this, we're just that, we're not enough, we're just a speck. But we're here to tell you, no, that's not true. You're everything. You are everything. And that's what Ernest is telling us. Ernest says, I believe in the continuation of the personal life beyond the grave, in the continuity of the individual stream of consciousness with a full recollection of itself and the ability to know and to make itself known. So what he is saying is that life is a continual expression of itself. It doesn't just start and stop and start and stop. This class that's almost wrapping up that I'm teaching about quantum physics teaches that we've been taught to think about everything as mechanical. Everything has its box, it's start and stop, start and stop. Ernest teaches us, no, it is all continual movement of life. So what I'm doing here, when I go there, it just continues. And Ernest does teach that all the stuff that we've come to know here, it goes with us. That's something for you to entertain. I am just showing you what he said. You take what works and you can leave the rest. But he does believe that that all comes into our consciousness. And so we're going to remember who we are here, which means we're going to remember those on the other side that preceded us. So Mel Schwartz, who wrote the book that we're teaching, he said, all living beings are energy fields manifesting through their physical form. So this energy that we are, I love that little guy that's in Soul, that Pixar thing. It's like that's the essence of who we are. That is the essence. That never goes away. And that's energy. It's a good symbolism of energy, right? It's something that has a form. It's invisible. It's light. But that energy is who we are. And it is manifesting through this form, this teacup, if you like. But that's the connection with our life and what goes on and on and on forever. So I'm going to bring in some physics for you here. The law of conservation of energy says that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another. So it just goes to show that our form that's here cannot be destroyed, the physical might, but your spiritual side is going to go on and on because that's the energy. And it's going wherever next is. So our essence persists. Our essence, I know, right? You got to watch the movie if you haven't seen it. So our essence persists, right? And so we're really being tasked to kind of get to know, what is my essence? What is that essence of me that is beyond what I've known myself to be in this dimension of time and space? You know, who am I beyond who I grew up to be, my name, you know, my gender, my conditioning? Who am I beyond that? And, you know, it's not a question that can be answered in just a half a second. That's deep exploration. But we're here for it. And, you know, we're designed for it because that soul wisdom, once you knock on the door of that, and you say, I want to know more, it wants to come to life. It wants to give you all of this information that we've been hiding from because maybe it didn't work with our belief system or what we were taught. But it is there, and when we really tap it, things come to our consciousness that we have forgotten. And it's important wisdom because it's your soul, and your soul is that eternal aspect of you. So Ernest says we can believe that when we enter the larger life, there will be loving hands to greet us and loving friends to care for us until we become accustomed to our new surroundings. Doesn't that sound good? I always say, I've had so many animals my whole life, I always say there's going to be just a barnyard. And it's like, which one do you hug first? The dog, the cats? But that's my vision, is when I leave here, it's just going to be like cat, dog heaven. So I can't wait for that. But I believe him. I do agree with Ernest. I think that our loved ones on the other side are right there helping us acclimate to our new state of being. And those that pass after us, we will beckon for them and we will bring them in and we'll teach them the ropes, right? Because life is a continual movement of energy, and we're all energy and we're all interconnected. Our place hereafter will be what we have made it. We certainly cannot take anything with us but our character, right? You can't take it with you. You just take you take your essence, right? There's so many wonderful physical things. You know, I love stuff. I love beautiful things. I love nice cars. I like nice clothes and shoes. You know, I got all that going on. But I know I can't take it with me. And that's why I do so much connecting with my soul. That's why I know the importance of having a strong soul, of listening, of being really clear on who I really am beyond the physical. And so when we can really dive into identifying with that and figuring that out, we will be able to make that next journey something where it's just an easy follow into a new life, because we'll have that strength of character coming with us. So the spiral of life is upward. Evolution carries us forward, not backward. Does anybody here have a fear that when you leave here, you're going to get screwed up or something's going to go wrong? Anybody? I think it's a human thing to wonder, I mean, could it be? I don't think so. But Ernest reminds us that evolution is an upward thing. Even though we make mistakes, even though things in life didn't go as we wanted them to go, if you really take a look at it, you have evolved. You have gone upward. I know so many people that have had so many mishaps in their lives, but at the end of the day, the upward momentum was there. And yes, we evolve up. And so it's important to realize that making our transition is an upward evolution. Whatever your next is, that is what you will experience. So nature will not let us stay in any one place too long. This is where the reality comes in. Nature will not let us stay in any one place too long. She will let us stay just long enough to gather the experience necessary to the unfolding advancement of the soul. And this is the bummer, right? Because we want to be here forever, right? But we can't, because we're evolving beings. And it's inherent in nature that we must transcend. We must go to a new level. And so when we are here learning whatever we're learning, having our experiences that are for our soul to have, when we are done and complete, nature moves us onward. And yeah, it's a bummer. I do not like losing people in my life. That's where my energy is around transitions. It's hard. It is really hard. But it's part of nature. It's part of our evolution. And that's how we're wired. That's how we're structured. But it is the advancement of the soul. So nature demands the change in order that we may advance. When the change comes, we should welcome it with a smile on the lips and a song in the heart. So these are good words of wisdom by our beloved Ernest. I think that chapter is an excellent chapter to read. There's some things that are a little outdated in it, but it is really excellent because look at this inspiration he provides for us. Goethe says life is the childhood of our immortality. And I love this because to me this speaks of the evolution of the soul, the advancement of the soul. So this is just like our childhood. And when we move on and we realize our immortality, we're grown up, or sort of, or I don't know. You pick what level of experience you'll be at. But I love that idea that this is just a childhood place for us, for the immortality to really blossom and move forward. This is just an experience that's growing us and advancing us. So even though this chapter is about the great beyond, the ideas apply to this level as well. That is such a cool thing, right? It's not just about the afterlife, because as we teach here, as above, so below. Everything that's going on here is going on there. And so what we take away from this is some really interesting things that Ernest tells us even more about. It seems to me that our evolution is the result of an unfolding consciousness of that which already is. And here's the kicker, and needs to be realized to become a fact of everyday life. Right now, in this moment, it is so important for us to be really clear that we are always, always evolving and our consciousness is always expanding. If we start getting used to that concept right now in our everyday life and paying attention to it and recognizing it, then we're going to be more in the flow of who we are and the nature of life. Instead of just seeing life as this day in, day out drudgery of habits repeating themselves, of just being with whatever you're with, and start seeing it as something a bit greater than that, of seeing that every single day something is unfolding in my consciousness. Start to pay attention to that in the now moment. So we don't have to make our transition in order to reset our consciousness. Somebody said to me a little bit ago, they're going through some struggles right now, and they said, do I need to make my transition to clear all this up? And no, please don't go there. I said, absolutely not. You do not need to do that. We have all the tools right here and right now to clear up our minds and our hearts and to get into truth. Anita Moorjani is one of my favorite people. Anybody know Anita Moorjani? She wrote a great book called Dying to Be Me. I tell everybody to read that because it'll teach you about life, it'll teach you about consciousness, it'll teach you about yourself. And she went on a big journey. She had a cancer experience, and she had a near-death experience when she got just very, very sick. And she went out of her body, and she realized what she was missing, what was causing her dis-ease, was she did not like herself. She felt very separated, and she did not have any faith in herself or any trust or belief in herself. But when she went to the great beyond, she realized, I love myself. I am part of this bigger whole. She realized, as this quote says, I was overwhelmed by the realization that God isn't a being, but a state of being, and I was now that state of being. This is what she took away from her going to the greater beyond in that near-death experience. She realized she was one with all life. She realized that within her is such an amazing power and presence called Spirit or God or Buddha. There is an immortality inside of her that gives to all of us our life force. And so when she realized that and came back into her body, she was physically healed. The cancer went away because she got into her consciousness and realized what was getting in the way of her wholeness. We can all do this. We can all do this, and that's why we teach here this energy of spirit that we all are, and get good with it. Let it dissolve anything that keeps you from seeing who you really are at that energy essence level. So Eckhart Tolle, I thought we would do a right turn into Eckhart Tolle. He says, the secret of life is to die before you die and find that there is no death. How cool is that, right? Because he's teaching us what we're identifying with is not life-giving. It is not that which is the great giver of life, that is spirit. We're identifying with the material realm. Now, I have some quotes following this that are from a guy that wrote a really lovely piece on Eckhart Tolle and this concept. His name is Thomas Opong, and he says, dying before you die is letting go of the illusion that you are just your mind or the drama of it. How many of us at any time in our life have identified just with the drama? It takes up all the space in our mind, all the space in our thinking, and we're it. We've all done it. You can't be on this plane of existence and not have that experience. If you have, God bless you. It means you let go of your false ego, right? We become this ego thing that we think gives us like this place and this grounding and this centeredness, but it's just something we've created that's a false belief of who we are, but it isn't who we are. When we identify that with that, we're not identifying with that essence of who we are. We're identifying with like a caricature. It means you let go of fear. Gotta let go of fear. You let go of control. You let go of the false stories you tell yourself. You die to old habits that don't serve you. You die to old beliefs holding you back. So this is a beautiful thing, because what really needs to die isn't who we are as these major spiritual beings. What needs to die is what we've been thinking we are. All of these false things, that's what needs to die. And then the immortal comes up. You die to the person, the identity you think you are, right? There have been so many times that I have thought I was something that I was not. I always say I have recreated myself like 100 times in just this lifetime because I thought I was something. I thought I was a career. I thought I was a certain being. I thought I was this or that. And I realized the more I let go of that and hold lightly to whatever I'm doing in this world, the freer I feel because I'm not constrained by a thing I'm supposed to be. I'm free in what my spirit is telling me to do, what direction to go into, what new thing to explore. So we find out that death is not the end, but a transformation, and that's the big word here. We call death transition. We can call it transformation. We're just moving that energy into a new expression of being. It's the real death of who you are not, right? That's the death, who we are not. When you do that, you realize something huge. You're still here, like the teacup, right? The teacup broke, but the student was still there. The student was still there, and that's for us. The teacup, the physical, can break, but you are still there. That little thing on the conveyor belt from Pixar Disney, that little guy, he was still there. We're all still here in some capacity. It's just not what we think we were that goes. We're more alive than ever. We are more alive than ever when we grasp these concepts. We're more here, we're more present when we are not confused or caught up in ways of seeing who we are that really aren't true. And so that's where life lives. This is your immortality, is your soul, is your spirit, is the infinite presence that you are, that which does not die ever. So Ernest says the experience of transitioning loses its sting, the grave its victory, when we realize the eternity of our being now, right now. Not when we cross over, but now. Because this continuity that he speaks of really becomes clear to us when we realize in this now moment, whatever is next, I am there, right? Whatever comes next, I am there. You may look different, you may feel a little different, but you are there. So I wanted to end with this. Ernest says, and so we prepare to die, not to die, but to live, right? I think that part of that purpose of that chapter is to remind us to be alive now. You know, you don't need to worry about what comes next, as that story I started out, or my talk today said. You don't need to worry about that. Just don't get attached to the form of it. He says the thought of death should slip from our consciousness altogether when we live now, when we realize who we are. And so when this great event of the soul takes place, it should be beautiful, sublime, a glorious experience. And so I want to just encourage those of you who are going through grief right now, because I know a lot of you are. You've lost people in your life that you love. Remember where they are now. Remember that beautiful essence of who they are cannot be seen by you, although I know there are some that can. I know there are, a lot of them. But that essence that maybe you cannot see right now is somewhere else, maybe another dimension. Who knows? I don't know. But know that they are still alive in their essence, and you will always be connected with them. And so that should bring great comfort to us. For those who we miss, should also be great comfort for us, because our life continues to go on and on and on, because we are transformative beings. That is the essence of who we are. So find your essence, give it some power, explore what it has to say to you, and enjoy your life. Thank you. Namaste.
Wow, that was so good. I was listening to something today so similar to this. I love to listen to that next level soul. And there was, they were talking about, do. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Dale. And wow, is that such a great talk, such a great reminder of life and who we are. And you got to hear it. You got to be a part of that. You got to remember the truth of who you are. So this is a time that we want to thank you for being here and participating, and for you to thank us for being a part of this. Because without you and what you give to this center, we couldn't do what we do. And so we are so blessed. And so anyway, so please prepare your love offering, put it up by your heart, feel it, and if you give automatically every month or however you give, just feel that gratitude for your giving and for what you receive. And let us say this prayer together. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center. Thank you.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God is my choice, God is my power.
Amen. Amen to that, right? Well, so beautiful, so beautiful. So we know that what we give comes back to us, pressed down and overflowing. So let's bless this collection. Let's bless what you gave, knowing that it does come back to you. All right? So we bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So I want to just, before we leave, I want to ask those of you who are willing, oh, you guys can go. Sorry. That Friday we have our sound immersion. So if some of you could stay and help move the chairs, we greatly, greatly appreciate that. So it helps us a lot. So also, I just want to remind you that we have our 1-minute miracles after this service. So if you're going through anything, please go over there and have our practitioners pray for you. We have things, miracles happen here all the time. So please go over there. And I think that's all the thing I need to say. So anyway, let's just, as we do this prayer, let us just remember how truly blessed we are. There's a lot of things going on in the world. Let us send our love and that peace that we are, knowing that everybody is being taken care of, especially those that are starving in Gaza. We just feel that, and we just send that, do what we can do. So let us just take a deep breath in. Let's just close our eyes, recognizing that it is all God. It is all that divine spirit. And it always says yes to us. So that which we desire, that which we claim, the universe is sending it to us, that divine intelligence, God's spirit, whatever works for you. I know that all is unfolding perfectly. I know that love, that energy that this center alone puts out into the world has an impact, has a divine impact. So we leave here on Sunday being inspired, taking that joy, knowing that we are these eternal beings and that we came here for a divine purpose. I believe it's love. I believe it's that givingness, that generosity, that light. So I know all is unfolding perfectly for each and every one of us here and beyond as we take that light, that generosity, that essence of who we are wherever we go. So I know that this is the truth. I let it go, and together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a very blessed, wonderful week, everyone.
Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love take it or leave it. You don't have to believe it.